I think in India we have education happening in many spaces. One is a regular sort of school space and school location, which could be a government school and it could be a private school. Private schools, as we know, are of many types. But in addition, if you look at where all children study, there is also a big outside of the school area in which children do study, and we call it tuition for the lack of a better word. So for example, in West Bengal there's very little private school as such. Okay, the percentage of children in that elementary school age group going to private school is hardly 10%, but the percentage of children attending a paid tuition class was almost 60 to 80%, even as young as class 3 and class 4. So if you think about in India education happening in school, private or government, and then in this whole space, I think there's a lot of scope for actually improving teaching and improving learning outcomes in all these spaces. And to me it seems that the government is doing what it can in the government schools. I think that also could be improved. There is a lot of initiatives like the Affordable Private Schools initiative. There are private schools themselves who want to improve. There are those kinds of things. But vast open field is in this unorganized sector where the people who are doing the tuition are not qualified. But parents are paying fees actually to send children there. And so if you think of that as a big unorganized sector, I think there could be lots of ways in which you could think about how that sector could be organized for improving outcomes. In terms of delivery of educational services or directly dealing with education, we do two major kinds of things. One is we call it the direct delivery of educational programs. Now here it means that there is somebody who's paid by Pratham who actually teaches children. Now this happens depending, we are in many states, we work in almost 20 states, both in rural and urban areas. So in some cases we work within the schools where there is a supplement. So the person who comes in is sort of like a community volunteer, but who is paid, who also assists the teacher in teaching during school hours. We have other programs where the same kind of effort is done after or before school hours, maybe for the children who need extra help or for children who are doing very well. Both types are possible. And a third is this kind of a program which is run in the community. So this is what we call our direct programs, where people are actually paid and this goes on. But a very large program that we've been running for the last 3 years is called Read India. And in Read India, the idea is to catalyze village communities and government schools to actually really focus on learning outcomes, school sector, even if we are not directly involved. The other reason I'm here is because we work very large scale on assessment, and as any initiative goes to scale, you'll need simple methods of assessment. So the experiences that we've had in working in the community or working in government, can any of those be useful to the people who are thinking about implementing in private sector? And finally, I think there's a real mix of people here from different sectors, from financing kinds of groups, from donor groups, from implementing groups, from curriculum provider type of groups, and then people from other countries as well. That I think that the mix, it's a new mix of people, so therefore it's quite productive to be here. Implementing groups, from curriculum provider type of groups, and then people from other countries as well. That I think that the mix, it's a new mix of people, so therefore it's quite productive to be here to hear. We speak in a lot of government forums, in a lot of community forums, but this is a place where there is a diverse set of people, so people are asking interesting questions, so that's good.